I wanted to do the homework for you guys, the week 3 homework. And that should help you hopefully with the week 4 homework, which is scaffolded off the week 3 homework. So I'm hoping that if I do this, that you can get a good idea of what I'm expecting. Let's take the first one. You were given a thumbnail script this week. I need you to do the following. Allow PNGs and GIFs. So if you look at the video from this week, I just used this to thumbnail JPEGs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file and we're going to work on this together, okay? I can say that the people who have been hanging out with me or the people who have gotten extra help this week were able to do this successfully, but there's a lot of disconnect into the concept of this. And I'm just going to call this thumbnail.php. So if you recall from the video, it would work through the get method. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my trash here because I had an images folder in here that hopefully, let me see if I can find it, where I had images where I can test. A big part of what we do is about testing. Yeah, here I have a GIF, a PNG. Like this is from the actual previous screencast. So I'm going to copy this images folder and I'm going to put it inside MAMP. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Applications, and you could use XAMPP on this. Again, you can use anything, any kind of server at all. So I'm going to put the images folder there. Okay, so now I've got a GIF. I've got a couple of JPEGs. Not really happy with those capitalized extensions because they're just bothering me. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce them. But I've got an actual PNG as well. So this is JPEG as well. So what the assignment, and this is just a repeat of what I did last week, but what the expectation is if I have pic equals, and we open up the image there, and I have pic equals, I don't know, lake.jpg, okay, and we have to give it a height and a width, okay, equals 200. Okay, so if I hit that, and I load the page, hopefully. Let's make sure everything's functional. This is header type, header logic there. There's the localhost. So we have header equals pic. Oh, it's in the images folder. So I need to do images/lake. And there's my image. Okay? So that's how you do it. You have to pass the value of the image and a potential height and width because that's how you're thumbnailing. Now, if you saw my video on Thumbnailing 101, we go through this in depth. Now, what I saw from a lot of people was just leaving this header up. This commits the whole page to JPEGs or PNGs. Okay? So, as I wrote in the announcements and in the assignment, you have to test this right here, this size variable. So the logic, just think about logic, and I think this is what we need to grow with the students who didn't hang out with me. And that's basically to write conditions. Basically, if the file type is a PNG, do PNG stuff. If the file type is a GIF, do GIF stuff. And if the file type is a JPEG, do JPEG stuff. Okay? Now, with that condition, okay, that's just logic. I need you to get to this point. Because this class, again, it's one thing to code, but can you apply it to solve something? And in that week that this was taught, we covered conditions, if statements. If we do something, then we do something else. So let's say I did if this, then that. That's the construct. So if Chris is bald, this is pseudocode, get him some Rogaine. So this is the if, and this is the so what. Okay? So that is how conditions are written. So that's really all you need for this homework assignment. Okay? But now, how do we tell if the file type is a PNG? Well, when we did the video, I var dumped the size variable here. And that's how we can tell. Okay? So I'm just going to copy, I'm going to literally comment everything out, okay? And I'm going to write another comment here. Get file type from the scalar size array. Now, remember, we did arrays that week too, so conditions and arrays. If you know that, you should be able to get to this point. So all I'm going to do now is var dump scalar size. I want to see what variable inside the size array has the type. And look at that. It's size mime. So now I know that scalar size mime will be the info I need. Okay? So now I can write my conditions knowing that. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do, I'm going to comment out my stuff here. And I'm going to do if, and again, size mime has the value. So in this case, I'm going to do if, and I'll do it right underneath the condition here. So if, I'm going to comment out this as well. So I'm going to write under each condition how to deal with each one, okay? So if size mime happens to be equal to image/JPEG, right? Then we're going to do JPEG stuff. Okay? Now I can just copy and paste this and write it underneath the comment of each one. So if it's image GIF, do GIF stuff. Okay? Then if it's a PNG, do PNG stuff. And how would I know this code? Well, it's in the thumbnail 101. It's literally in that video. So let's talk about this now. Now we've got our setup and our logic's good, okay? We've made our comments and figured out everything we need. Now I'm going to close the var dump. And in this page, I'm going to put everything that relates to JPEGs into that condition, okay? So I'm literally taking my original code. I could even take this entire block of code right here, okay? And put it in that condition, and it will work. Watch, I'll do it. So I just copied and pasted the entire condition of the JPEG right there, okay? Now let's do the same thing for the GIF. So instead of writing do GIF stuff, I'm pasting literally the thumbnail script that I know worked before, okay? So there's my GIF code. Now this is my PNG code. Okay, so I've got everything I need in this case, and I can just simply delete all my other work because the script is right there. I have here's at the top here. Okay, if size mime is JPEG, let's make the whole page a JPEG. So everything in this bracket is part of this condition. On condition that the size mime is equal to image JPEG, let's output the image JPEG. And let's move forward, okay? So I have the whole script right here. Now we have to just do a little bit cleaning because right now this says if image GIF. Well, then header content type would not be image JPEG, would it? It would be GIF. So let's make it GIF. We already have, if you look, we already have this code above the stuff that gets the information, so that can be deleted, okay? This code right here can be pasted right here because it only relates to the image. Nothing here, okay, nothing from here, I'm going to make a comment, nothing from line 5 to 24 is dependent on file type. Nothing is dependent, okay? But everything here needs to be related to everything here needs to be a condition of JPEG. I'll write it in words that hopefully you guys can get. It needs to be on condition of JPEG. Okay, got it. So I've got image create from JPEG. I've got thumb. I've got comic, and most importantly, I'm outsourcing a JPEG. Now this is the condition of GIF. All this code is already at the top. Okay, I don't need that at all. But everything here needs to be on a condition of a GIF. Okay, so I'm in the GIF block, right? Everything here needs to be on condition of a GIF. Remember, scalar size mime holds the value of the type. We know this because when we just dumped the value, we saw this key on this array. It's right from the week 3 materials. All right, going back, okay? We're going to go back to this, and we've got that condition, and now we have GIF, but notice how it says image create from JPEG? This has to be image create from GIF, and the output needs to be an image create from GIF. That's from Thumbnailing 101 video. Now, this is PNG, so I want to make sure that everything here needs to be on condition of PNG, because it's PNG. So the header content type isn't going to be an image JPEG, it's going to be a PNG. Now I don't need any of this code because this was already on the top of the page, all of it. Okay, so now my condition is this. This is perfect. And now I have a create from JPEG on line 60. I'll make it PNG. And then down here at the bottom, I'll have PNG. Now, in closing on this, we're going to test it, but I want to make sure you always test your code and you always email me if you need help. So what I'm going to do now is hit refresh. There's my image JPEG, okay? Let's try a PNG or a GIF from the file. So I'll do images slash, let's do goldenball.png. And let's make sure it works. If it doesn't, it's not a problem. We'll fix it. I think I have one too many L's there. Oh, my eyes are just shot. There we go. So now I have image golden ball, and that's thumbnailed properly. Okay, I can go in and change the height and width, and it becomes smaller. And lastly, I'll make sure the GIFs work. So I have city.gif. So I'm going to say the pick location is city.gif. And there, my friends, is city.gif. So back to the homework, back to this value, right? Not this one, but let me go back to thumbnail.php. Back to this. The header, there could only be one header per page, and there is only one header. So I have 3 if statements. Now some of you might have tried an if, an else if, and an else, but if you think about it, these are very different scenarios. This is not a case where you'd want that. There's only one of these. A file can only be one file type. And in that case, you would use an if on each one, because then that condition could only be satisfied. So right now, this last thing I did, the GIF was the thumbnail. So what happens in the script is we get the GIF here, we get the height and width, and then we get the array of information about the pictures. We develop the new sizes for the thumbnail based on the same ratio, and then we hit our condition. So our condition in this case would be this. It's a GIF. So this condition would not be met, this condition would not be met, okay? That's important. That's really, really important for this. So that said, it works every time and it's completely dynamic. All you need to do is pass these values to your thumbnail. So I want you to think of a site that had a database, and maybe the images are in a folder, and you loop through that folder or loop through the database content and then thumbnail everything on the fly. It'll make your site work that much faster. This is why we're in development. I'll also say in closing that those people who had Google Hangouts or Zoom conferences with me last week all were able to get this done. So that said, if it's really complicated, you really do need to reach out. I will spend time with you. Just let me know, okay? So I'm going to go post this, and I'm going to make an announcement about it.